Taylor.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Powell.
Here.
Cavell.
Here.
Smith Charles.
Present.
Liz is absent with notice. Woodward.
Here.
Markham.
Here.
You have quorum.
All right. Next up, we have our Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise if you can.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have approval of the previous minutes. Moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Long. Any adjustments? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next, we have approval of today's agenda. Moved by Powell, supported by Taylor. Any adjustments or changes at this time? Seeing none, all in favor of approving today's agenda, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next up, we have our first public comment. I have a list, but Mayor Grimal from Pontiac has asked if he could go first, and so I said yes, he could. So everybody.
So says the chair.
So says the chair, right. We go way back, you know. Everybody gets 3 minutes, and I have a timer here, so, and you can talk on anything on today's agenda, so welcome.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the accommodation, Madam Chair. I'm sorry about that, but I had rearranged my schedule to try to be here briefly at the beginning of the meeting, so I appreciate the flexibility. As you might imagine, I'm here to speak about the incredibly important investment that the county is making in the heart of Pontiac, right downtown. This is a project that's been a long time coming. We've been working on this project for about 3 years now, and it's really been in the thick of things for over 2 years now. I want to begin by thanking County Executive Dave Coulter and his administration for really embracing this idea back 2+ years ago when I pitched it to him. And the generosity of the county and this county board is incredibly important to the people of Pontiac and to revitalizing our downtown. I want to just highlight why this project is so important. We historically have been, and we still are, of course, the seat of Oakland County. But historically, the county used to really have the center of gravity of its government and its employees in downtown Pontiac. That completely changed 50 years ago as more and more of the county's employees gravitated out to this campus, which even the Pontiac portion of this campus is on the boundary of Pontiac, right across the street from Waterford. And of course, the county executive's offices currently are actually in Waterford Township. So this is really about bringing county government back home where it belongs in the heart of downtown Pontiac. And that means a tremendous amount to the vitality of our downtown by making sure that we have many hundreds of county employees in downtown going out to lunch every day, going out to get a bite to eat after work. It's really about having that foot traffic that is so essential to revitalize any downtown. We're not relying just on Oakland County. We have 2 enormous residential projects that are happening in downtown Pontiac as well, so that we have 24-hour-a-day foot traffic in our downtown. But this is really a cornerstone to making this happen. As you can see from the representatives of the labor movement who are in attendance here, this project is being proposed thanks to the hard work of the county executive's office and the county commission to be done in a way that is very worker friendly, that supports our friends and allies in labor. And so this is an incredibly important project for the people of Pontiac, for the businesses of Pontiac, for our friends and allies in labor unions, and it is absolutely essential if we're gonna bring back Pontiac and revitalize the community and once again make it the heart of Oakland County. So I really want to emphasize to all of the commissioners just how essential and important this project is. There's plenty of bonding capacity in the county. And so let's not allow people to try to distract or confuse by suggesting that Oakland County can't afford this project. Oakland County can afford this project, and this investment has to happen somewhere, whether it's out here on the border with Waterford or whether it's where it should be in the heart of Pontiac. And so again, I encourage this body and the full Board of Commissioners to support this incredibly important project. And I again want to thank Commission leadership, all of the Board of Commissioners, and most importantly, the County Executive and his office for their hard work making this happen. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, next up we have Doug Smith from Bloomfield Township.
Thank you, Madam Chair,
Good morning.
members of the committee. Angela, you're my representative. You're my commissioner. Indulge me just for a second. I'll give you a little background. I know several of you, but I served as the real estate director and economic development director for the city of Troy. And then I came here and worked in Oakland County and ended up as the deputy county exec for a number of years. And then went to Lansing and served as the senior vice president with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Came back and spent 3 or 4 years with Oakland Community College working on workforce development. So I just say that to give context to my comment that I want to make today as part of my testimony. And that is during the time that I worked at the county, at the state, and at OCC, I worked with a lot of the projects within Pontiac. I've seen the progress, I've seen the investments that have been made, and I could just say from an economic development standpoint that this project with the Ottawa Towers is so critical. It's critical because I think Pontiac's at a tipping point. The long-term investment isn't going to stay if we can't continue to make progress, and some progress has been made. But one of the biggest hurdles is, as the mayor said, is clearly that we don't have a daytime population. And the only thing that solves that is housing and employment downtown. So this project is huge, and both from the timing of it and the substance of it, it begins to be not just have impact on existing investment, but it also is a catalyst for future investment. And so, I hope that just from my experience, this is such a critical time and critical investment, and appreciate the administration making this commitment in here. In addition, it's not only critical for Pontiac, I think, and you can compare it to Detroit. Detroit's resurgence not only affected Detroit and Wayne County, but all of Southeast Michigan. I believe that the resurgence of Pontiac really has an impact on all of Pontiac. I serve on the Greater Pontiac Community Coalition. I'm on the Committee of 50. I've been working with the OU Pontiac Initiative. I retired 3 years ago, but Pastor Jones wouldn't let me retire. And I'm also working on the Pontiac Transportation Museum, and I've seen how the Pontiac Transportation Museum, working with M1 Concourse, is making Pontiac a destination location again. And so the importance of the resurgence of Pontiac for the future and the strength of the recovery and the continued growth of Oakland County, I think is very, very critical. So appreciate the council's support for the Ottawa Towers investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Next up, we have Pastor Douglas Jones from West Bloomfield. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to the board. Thank you to the commissioners and all that's present for allowing me this time. And I had clocked it. I noticed the mayor left 2 minutes extra, so to take those 2 extra minutes to cover. I have some notes and I will refer to them, but let me first say how much we appreciate what this board has done here, not just for Pontiac, but for Oakland County. A few months ago, as a matter of fact, a couple of years back, I came here and I talked about the Pontiac Transportation Museum. And you guys heard me, and you visited, and you came. And today I would tell you that the work that has been done there, the opening of that Transportation Museum, we are now listed on more auto magazines than ever before. And your investment has made that a meeting place and a gathering place in the city of Pontiac and throughout Oakland County. So I really appreciate that. And that carries on to what we're here today in relation to saying and asking for you to move forward in the vision, move forward in the appropriation, move forward in bringing Pontiac back. I stand here on behalf of the Greater Pontiac Community Coalition, a committee of 50 that serves all of Oakland County, all of Oakland County. That committee is made up of business persons, residents, union members, and all of that. All of them are part of this, trying to make a difference within our city. This vision that you have will support and bring to Pontiac the excitement, progress, and growth of all of Oakland County. Workforce development, we talk about that. It's not just a byword. Small business support, labor support, economic development, readying our high school students to further their career. All of that happens. We know that for too long, Pontiac has been a stepchild in Oakland County. A stepchild for progress, vision, support, and growth. However, your effort will now equalize the field, and that's what we have this opportunity. It doesn't always come to us, but you have it today. To equalize the field, make Pontiac an asset and not a liability. With new homes, new businesses, increasing population, and stability. It opens the door for our major companies and corporations located in and around the city that will be involved, along with encouraging new investments. Because when they see what you do, they will do more. New growth will come, a greater revenue base, and that key word will be there, gravity in Oakland County, a better GDP. Joining me today, as you see, is several of the members of the Committee of 50 and the Greater Pontiac Community Coalition, who stand ready to support, endorse, and promote this project. Support your vision and positive action, and that's what it is, a vision and a positive action for Pontiac and our county. It includes everyone. And I'll close with this. We can organize today, you can support us today, and you can make Pontiac what it really is, the center of Oakland County, the county seat. We encourage you to stay on the course, join in, and let's make history together. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Pastor Jones.
No connection.
That's plays that right.
Next up, we have Mark Thomas from Bloomfield Hills.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you especially for contributing $100,000 to the Pontiac Transportation Museum. I'm Mark Thomas. I gave them the building. I came to the whole of the Golden Donut, which is Oakland County, in 1985 to invest because there is a great downtown in a transit center that has the very real potential to be the true center of Oakland County again, and not just geographically. You know that the Golden Donut, which Oakland County really is, has a gross domestic product greater than 14 of these United States. Other investors are seeing it. Over 700 new dwelling units are committed for within walking distance of downtown, the county's downtown. I'm a student of history and a member of the Housing Innovation Alliance, the Congress for New Urbanism, and the Urban Land Institute. I study their publications. Those are the organizations behind projects like Michigan's Central Station in Detroit. We're at the tipping point. The center of Oakland County can be cool. This is potentially the environment young people want. I'm talking about your kids who get a great Michigan college education or university education, and then they move away. Please, please don't be like Bob Kelly, the Birmingham councilman who fought against Baldwin House and then ended up living there because he found out it was the greatest place to live. That's the story of Oakland County's downtown. Right now, now is the time. It's up to you. Is it the chicken or the egg? It's both. Every bit is necessary. As this happens, mark my words, people are going to want to be assigned to jobs located in the center of Oakland County. Now, in 2025, when it really counts in the center of Oakland County, your return on investment for Oakland County will be enormous. The cool tide raises all boats. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
And here's some propaganda. Send them down.
I'll just mention, while we're in between speakers, that the Pontiac Transportation Museum has a big event this Saturday in downtown Pontiac, and if you haven't been there, please go and check it out. It's very cool.
You'll be amazed.
You will,
nine
you
to-
really will.
From 9 to 6, right? I'm on the board too, so please come and support.
9 o'clock
So
for
was
donuts.
that was Mark Thomas. Okay, next up we have Carlton Jones.
Yes, free donuts.
Alright. Yeah, I want to appreciate everybody being here. I don't have no notes because it comes from my heart, okay? I found out after I thought about it in life, every time I came to Michigan, I came back to Oakland County. I was born and raised in Oakland County, and I know there's a lot of people who mentored me to do the things I was able to do. And I found out later that my dad migrated from the South to Pontiac to find a way for him to have a career to feed his family. Now, I've taken on workforce development as my passion. I got a passion for workforce development, and the years I've spent here in Oakland County, Mark said the golden donut, we used to say Pontiac was the hole in the donut. But now we're trying to fill it in with jelly to make this a real jelly donut. And I think it can happen. I know it can happen. Now, the desire for workforce development is so great in Pontiac because it's an educational tool to educate how valuable you could be to a community once you see the opportunity. I commend the leadership of Oakland County for really making a commitment to really do the work to give people in Pontiac an opportunity. I live in District 10. The District 10 is, I've got 2 districts inside the District 10, the southwest side of Pontiac, and we're really eager to truly see how we can turn the corner and make this project be the catalyst for what not only Pontiac, but Oakland County as a whole. I think a lot of times you talk about Oakland County being this rich county that could do so much, and I always just scratch my head, well, why is it Pontiac seems to be always the one that seems without? I think now we've came to grips in saying Pontiac is the heart of Oakland County. And being the heart of Oakland County, we all need to come together and be very positive and be supportive of it. My dad was a labor man. He had an opportunity to come in and work for General Motors, 30 years, fed his family. And I'm trying to do the same to try to navigate young people into careers and opportunity, especially with the trades. Because we realize all of them not taking that same track of going to college. And you can do a great thing with the trade opportunity. And it's just the commitment that Oakland County has made to this project. It can make the big difference in a lot of people's lives. And we hoping and we're praying that we continue down this track and see that this is not just about Pontiac, it's about making Oakland County just that much greater. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Next up, we have Regina Campbell.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I wrote my notes down, but it's still from the heart. And so I'm just gonna give a little bit about Regina Campbell. And thank you, Chair and the committee for giving us the opportunity to speak today regarding this awesome project in Pontiac. I am a licensed contractor, a licensed realtor, and a licensed respiratory therapist. So I've worked throughout Oakland County, just to name some cities, Berkeley, Waterford, Commerce, Oak Park. So I've been in various communities doing various things with my career profession. I say that to say, there's a term that I've heard that's buzzing around here. So before I start, I want to say this. Take a moment and reflect on the powerful phrase, Oakland Thrive. Who coined that? Oakland Thrive. What does it truly mean? Not just as a program title or economic initiative, but as a commitment. A commitment to ensure that every corner of our county, every business corridor, and every resident has an opportunity to grow, prosper, and belong. To this committee, what does it mean to invest in a county where all communities matter? All communities matter. Where success in one city contributes to the strength of the whole. Success in Pontiac will contribute to the success of the whole county. And to the public, especially our small businesses, which I am, working families, young people, what would it mean if growth wasn't just measured in numbers, but felt on your blocks, in your neighborhoods, and your day-to-day life? This project will bring that to our community. And I'm a little emotional because I would not be in this room today if it wasn't for Commissioner Powell, Sean Woodward, and I wouldn't be in front of a lot of the union workers that was at the outreach this morning. It's because of this project that we're coming together to make a greater Oakland County, a greater city of Pontiac. As we look at 31 Justin Project, it's not just reviewing a site plan. We are exploring the opportunity to bring purpose to life in our community, in our great city of Pontiac, not just for Pontiac, but for Oakland County as a whole. I'm very passionate because, as Carlton mentioned, I have been in the trenches in areas where I'm not at the table. This is an opportunity for our community, Oakland County, to grow together. And I just hope that as the committee meets, that they understand Oakland Thrive is about Oakland County, right? Pontiac is seated in Oakland County. Let's do the right thing and move this project forward, and whatever bonding money they need, let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Next up, we have Tim Cobb. Is that
Madam
correct?
Chair, may I defer my time? We have a lot of speakers here to the building trades.
Sure. Okay. Do you want somebody to go in your place?
Yes, we got a series of
We
people.
got a bunch of people. Okay, well, I have a list.
Robert Bean's off one, unless you can just go down the list.
Robert, okay, I'll go down the list, and anybody that's not on the list, you can come next, right? Okay, so if we're just gonna skip Mr. Cobb and go to the list, Mark Saba is next?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Cobb, if you wanna speak,
Yeah,
please
thank
feel
you.
free.
My
I
name's
am
Mark
trying to
Saba.
keep the talks to 3 minutes, just so we can move this meeting along, but, you know, okay,
Ready?
yeah.
My name is Mark Saba. I represent Sheet Metal Air Conditioning Contractors. We have over 75 contractors, many in the Oakland County area. We believe in leadership. I've listed out, there's a lot of leaders in this room today, good leaders that really care about Oakland County. The last lady, very, very touching, talked from her heart. We care about what we do in the community. And again, we support all the leaders, a lot of you that are in this room today. There's a little resolution in that, the building project that again, we support fully is the Prompt Pay Act. And I'm lucky because I got to sit as a business manager for the sheet metal workers for years. I got to move over to the contractor side. This bill and that prompt pay is gonna not only help the contractors, but it's gonna help labor, the people that I used to do work for 40 years. When a contractor's not paid on time, the labor isn't paid on time, and in that paycheck is his health insurance and his pension. If they don't pay his health insurance and pension, what does he do? He's got a family, now he's gotta go to court, he's gotta sue to try to get his money. It's a silly idea that Michigan doesn't put this in. So I'm here to not only back the project, back these great leaders in this room, but back prompt pay for both labor and management. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saba. Next is Tony Parker.
I will just say, I'm just gonna say that I am in full support of this project, and I wanna thank the board members and commissioners, David Woodward, Sean Carlson, just for bringing this to Oakland County. I don't wanna take up the time and defer just because we do have plenty of people here to get in front of. I just wanna pledge my support for the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Robert Gonzalez is next.
I'll just stand. Thank you, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners. My name is Robert Gonzalez. I'm the business manager for the Painters and Allied Trades Union. We're a statewide organization, but the majority of our members are in the metro Detroit area. I'm here to speak in support of the project. I've heard the reason why we need it. Makes common business sense to do this, right? And where we come in, along with the rest of us, the other trade unions here, is, we are opportunity providers, much like my brother here who's doing the mentoring. Our unions, trade unions, have apprenticeship schools, right? So when this infrastructure gets built, we're able to provide opportunity for residents or just workers in general. One, to make a good wage, and as somebody mentioned, have some benefits, some help and some pension. I don't think anybody's against that. One of the things that our organization does with these apprenticeships is provide value. Because I don't know if anybody knows that the union apprenticeships, like how much it actually costs the taxpayer. It costs $0 because our apprenticeships are self-funded, right? So we're self-funding ourselves while training the workforce, turning them into trained journey people to continue to build. Also, again, all the feel-good stuff, right? Our unions in general, but I'm gonna speak about our union. These are like one of the most inclusive organizations to use, use everybody. We're gonna build a project, we're gonna use union to build it. Because in our world, I have journey people rates, right? Somebody that's gone through the apprenticeship and has a nice career path. And I have apprenticeship rates, first, second, third, and fourth year. And, depending on what year you are, it kind of says how much money you're making, but there's a path, right, that we can provide as long as we have those opportunities to provide that downward. Now, what I don't have, when I say inclusive, I don't have female, male work rates, or black and white work rates, or gay and straight work rates. We are inclusive, right? If you put the time in and invest in us, obviously we're investing in you with the training, you will have a career path, right? And I think everybody in this room is on the same page, right? So I'm here in support of his resolution, and everybody else that's here in support of it. Like I said, I think it makes all the business sense in the world, right? Actually, yeah. And if it's not a good business decision, then maybe the decision wasn't about business in this room, right? So let's make sure that we, vote with our common sense and business hats on. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez. Next up, we have Carlo Castelloni.
Hello, everyone. Carlo Castiglione, lifetime resident, Oakland County. I irritate Gwen as she's my gal out there in District 15. So anyway, I'm on the Oakland County Workforce Board since 2014, 2015. I was appointed by Al Brooks. Then I got reappointed by David Coulter. I can tell you what, thank you all very much for this quick opportunity to talk to you guys. Recently, I retired as business manager of the Plumbers Union in Detroit, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Sand Lake, Port Huron, and God knows where else. But this has been a fantastic chance. You know, how many of us used to drive around Pontiac just to get to other places? This needs to be a solid hub. This needs to be a great place the way it used to be before we lost Pontiac Truck and Bus. You guys have done a great job bringing in great people. But now you need something else to be right next door to McLaren Hospital. You need to bring a good anchor in, and I believe this will be a great opportunity for everyone. You drive down the roads, the most beautiful houses you've ever seen, it just needs more people. It doesn't need anything more than that. Let's start revitalizing the neighborhoods too. But if you can, we'd definitely like your support on this. I know I've talked to many of you over the years, whether you needed help or this or that, but being in Oakland County, I believe 90% of this project was approved at the state in the late hours. A lot of it was through the building trades. And I'm pretty sure us being the largest county and one of the most powerful counties in the country, not just in the state of Michigan, I think we can come up with that extra 10%. And I appreciate all your support. And thank you all very much for all your help with the workforce boards in Oakland County as well. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Castelloni. Next up, we have Elizabeth Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Kelly. I'm the interim CEO for Hope Shelters in Pontiac. And I just wanted to add my voice to the support as a person who works with the infrastructure of humans within our county, and especially those that are vulnerable. Anything that we can do to be able to strengthen our community is going to lift us all up. And I just wanted to add my voice to all of the people here and let everyone know that for us, one of the ways that's going to be a pathway out of poverty is going to be jobs. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Last person, oh no, I already did Tim. Mr. Cobb, if you would like to speak? Sure. And anybody else who wants to speak after Mr. Cobb, I don't have anybody on the list, but same rules apply, 3 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity, Madam Chairman, Sean, County Executive Dave Coulter. It's amazing to see Doug. We go back many years and worked on some pretty impressive projects. And Sean and I met, 20 years ago when you were Chief of Staff with Andy Dillon. And we worked on the Op Reservation Gaming, which became the hub of Detroit. It was again leadership and listening. Same thing happened as he was Chief of Staff with Andy. We did the film bill, which of course had some major impact. And what we're seeing today, and Dom, thank you, because the economic impact that's happening with Pontiac and this leadership and the time you have taken to understand lessons learned about how long it took Detroit because they didn't get the casinos all in a row because of politics. Just imagine if we had what Vegas did in one row. What you're doing here in Pontiac and considering this resolution, and thank you, building trades. When the call made, they showed up. And this resolution has prompt payment. It has prevailing wage. It has apprenticeship programs. It has that start to life. Not everybody's gonna be cut out for universities and colleges. But this time, to show the community that never left when everybody else was running out, you were digging in. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that because with Dom, we have a couple of meetings for companies to come into Oakland County because of this, because of the trades, because of that effort. Again, leadership is leading. And this is a moment, I think, in our lifetime, Doug, we're actually gonna see it happen. So thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Sean. County Executive Dave Coulter. And again, thank you, community, for never leaving. Dom, Rod, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cobb. Is there anybody else
I'd like
that
to
wants
speak,
to
please.
speak in public comment? Sure.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Thank you, Chairman Gwynn. I'd like to thank Sean Carlson, Chairman Woodward of the board, and the fellow Board of Commissioners. I commend you all for what you're doing for Oakland County. Adopted Oakland County for All, opportunity for everybody. It's a big change from 10 years ago. 2000, you guys, or 220, the county passed a responsible contracting first projects, which is a huge thing, and we do appreciate that. We encourage you to support this resolution. Myself, I'm a Hazel Park resident, lifelong Oakland County resident. I'm proud to be in Oakland County. This is the heart of Oakland County, Pontiac. It's the seat of Oakland County. We need to adopt, move on, and let's build and continue the progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McPherson. Is there anybody else? Commissioner Powell.
So again, this Pontiac project is in my district, District 9. I'm Commissioner Angela Pott, and I just wanted to thank everybody in this room today that came to voice your passion, your thoughts, and your support for this project. This project is a game changer. I'm born and raised from that city. And as she was tearing up, because we talk all the time, me and this lady right here, it is a game changer. And it's going to uplift our community. We've been underserved too long. And that is a lot of people in our community are in a box of underservedness. And we're trying to change that. And I want to again thank my colleagues who have been supporting this, because it has been a journey. So thank you. I also want to thank this man right here, Sean Carlson. He listens to me. Ain't that something? He really listens to me. And even when it's something that I need to learn, or he need to just educate me on, I'm listening to him, because this is new for me too. But I thank you. You're making a game changer. And you're gonna be that person that gets to say, right, I took the lead on this, and you battling with all these different individuals in that world and what you got going on. And then I wanna thank this lady over here, Megan Stelly. She's been tag teaming with me with my community. And it's been a lot, but I wanna thank you too. Oh, deputy, let me put that, cause she earned that. Deputy, and deputy too, but deputy. So thank you all, I appreciate it, and especially with the trades. I am a former union girl, UAW, and my dad was one too, so I come from that family. So thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, is there anybody else who wants to speak in public comment at this time? If not, I will close public comment and we will move on to item 7, which is communications. And unless somebody wants one of those pulled to discuss, I will take a motion to
A through E.
Approve all of the communications, item 7A through 7E. So, moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Powell. Commissioner Smith-Charles.
Yeah, so I think you sit on, is it Verbo or Verba?
Viva. Actually, Commissioner Taylor does now.
Yeah, congratulations, Commissioner
thank you.
Taylor. So as far as like retirement and all that kind of stuff, we're still doing right by our people?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I mean, I also
Go
serve
ahead,
Liddy
Tom.
on there, a 97% pension system and a 150% healthcare Viva system. So all promises made are being kept, and we are on track to make sure we honor all those promises.
Great to
You
hear.
won't find too many other governments that are as well funded in their retirement and healthcare as Oakland County right now, so. Commissioner Cavell.
Well, just since we're talking about VIBA, aren't we paying off the VIBA debt until 2028?
2027, and I think
2027.
Commissioner, in the next presentation, we may talk about that in a little more detail.
Cool.
Okay. All right, let's prompt the vote.
You have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Okay, motion carries, all those are approved. And then next up, we have item 8A, the big ticket today. Economic Development and Infrastructure Recommendation for the appropriation and allocation of funding for the renovation of 31 East Judson and 51-111 Woodward Avenue in Pontiac. Moved by Commissioner Smith Charles, supported by Commissioner Powell.
Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say, as Chair of EDI, all these wonderful faces sitting around the table, none of you graced our meeting, your public comment. And in fact, it had to get through EDI to even get here today.
So thank you.
Thankfully, we were able to make that happen. I felt a point of privilege on that.
Absolutely, that was hard work too.
Yeah, but I want to say why they weren't here, is because we
Yes.
scheduled the trades fair over at 51-111 and all the union folks, businesses were over there, so.
Busy morning.
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. We do have a slide presentation. Of course, I'm joined with my co-project manager, Deputy County Executive Megan Sellers, and then our CFO, Brian Leffler. So appreciate the opportunity, and I want to appreciate the public comments in reference to this project today. Thank you for taking the time out. This is important. You heard from people who live in the community. You've heard from residents who live in Oakland County. You've heard from folks who live in Southeast Michigan. This is an important project. So I'm gonna dive into those details a little bit, but I just want to take us through a quick PowerPoint, just real quick, just to kind of make sure that the commissioners understand what we're looking at here. So this is revised urban planning concepts. So just to give everybody their bearing, this is Judson Street right here. This is Orchard and Auburn. So this is shut down right now because the Phoenix garage is being demoed. This is 31 Judson. This is what the resolution that's in front of you today is talking about. And we're looking at putting a surface parking lot here. We looked at put a new parking structure, 800 some vehicles. That would be called the south parking structure. We'll also have a north parking structure that we'll utilize as well for our employees. But that will also be for the community as well that has a parking issues, and that will support them. That green line that you see through there, that's not a sidewalk. That's a river that was buried with the construction. We're trying to be very conscientious of that in case the community at some point in time wants to daylight that. That's not what we're intending to do, but it is on our maps and our planning concepts so that we have an understanding of where that's at. So I just wanted to give everybody kind of where their bearings are. This is a look from the north part of the city looking down. So this is the park that we envision being in there. This will be the acres that this commission as well as County Executive Coulter and the administration supported, sending acreage back to the city, and they intend to develop this portion. This is the 31 Judson, and then we are looking to add a conference center. One of the main roles and responsibilities of the county is to convene. We have 61 cities, villages, and townships in this community. Being able to convene them in a place in this building is important to us. It's important to the work that we do here in the county. You can see that the new parking garage, what we're looking at, and we're working, that is not part of this agreement. I want to make sure people understand. That is part of a development agreement, and we are in conversations with Endeavor. I have communicated that to the caucus and to this committee in the past. That's not what's in front of you. What's in front of you today is the renovation of 31 East Judson and portions of 51-111. This is another viewpoint, more of a southwest viewpoint. So that's just giving you a different perspective. The main thing that you should understand here is with the project that happened back in the 70s, it cut off the main street to Pontiac. The main street for Pontiac is Saginaw. And what that did, unintended consequences, is that it's had a big impact. The combination of the MDOT loop as well as cutting off Main Street has forced people around and outside of downtown. This is what the existing building structure looks like. This is from the perspective of southeast part of Judson. If I'm on Judson, this is what this viewpoint looks like. What's important to understand is we need to change this facade. It is not insurable, and we've gotten that from the insurance company, and if there's more details you want on that, we can talk about that. But that is going to change. What we're looking at is something more conceptually to this perspective. Part of the revitalization and redevelopment of Pontiac, and having glass there. This is the south side.
North side. North side.
Is this? North side, that's correct. And this is Saginaw right here, so that I would be standing kind of north west of the facility. Of course, this is the conference center that we're talking about as well, and then it would look out onto the park area. And across the street would be 51-111. This is a side angle from it. Of course, this isn't exactly to schematic because we can fit a lot more individuals in here than that. How many altogether, Tim?
Probably like 325.
Yeah, so if you have a big commission meeting and a lot of people want to come and talk, you have that capability to have that. I know you all look forward to that. So this is kind of a side angle from that perspective. But this allows us to also move these walls back as well and open that up and get with our communities. This is another perspective, kind of an aerial perspective of what this looks like. We would have, the Board of Commissioners would be kind of not in the setup that you are now, but more of kind of angled around. And now I'm gonna turn this portion over to Brian in regards to some of our sustainability approaches.
So one of the initiatives on this project and other projects in the county is doing LEED. And so right now, this project is being developed on the silver level. And without going through these strategies, but the point is that we are focusing on making sure that it complies with the Oakland County sustainability, decarbonization, and things like that. So of that, when we do talk about LEEDs, one of them was power, what kind of mechanicals and engineering. So if you go to the next slide, one of the things that we talked about here is if you essentially do what you have in the building today with today's equipment, it's really only getting you this 20+ type of reduction. On the far end, we even looked at geothermal, but unfortunately, where you have to drill the wells is actually underneath the conference center or that plaza, so it really is not a site that allows for that. But when you start looking at the other cost, is something in between, is that there is a newer system that they're gonna be, the engineers have proposed for us. But I'm also looking at two things as the CFO. One is, what is the upfront cost, what is the ongoing operating cost? Is that once the building's done, we have to maintain it, make sure that the folks are gonna be trained to do whatever's inside that building. So the point that with the project that you have here is that we've selected the recommendation from HED, the A&E firm. The last thing is there's a solar project. On top of the tower would be panels, which is gonna provide anywhere from 3 to 5% for the consumption in the building. And you can see it's on the penthouse, which is essentially where some other mechanicals is, but that's what's in the part of the scope that's in here. So that's part of the price tag that's in the $174 million growth project.
That's it for the project. Now, the deck was much bigger than that, but I tried to keep this as brief as possible. So let me make a few comments, and then I'm gonna turn it over to our CFO to add some, and then Megan, if you've got any that you would like to add as well. So 174 million is what we're asking for. You heard it as well. It's very important that the prompt payment is part of this. Oakland County, as you've heard, we led on responsible contracting in 2020. No other county was out in front of this before Oakland County. We authored that legislation. Other school districts and communities have joined in on that since we've done that in 2020. That's important. It's important to us. Again, we led with prevailing wages. It's important that we do this one time and we do it right. You can go look over to the east of us and some other places that haven't supported their trades and see the issues that they're having. I'm not gonna get into details on those, but they're out there. It's important for us to make sure that we're paying good wages for the individuals that are working on this job. It's also important, as you heard, that we have a prompt payment. This is something that the unions have been asking for up in Lansing and others. It's not fair that somebody send me an invoice and say, here's the invoice for $10 million. We authorize payment, the contractor gets their 10 million and decides to sit on that payment for 30, 45 days, 60, 75 days. If you verify that the work is done, then you need to be paying your subcontractors and your contractors. Is that my time? Holy cow.
No, that's not
That was
not
only
me.
3 minutes?
That's not me. No, somebody else is ringing out
Some
here.
time portal here. So,
Neighborhood.
but what's important is that we need to,
Yeah, you are way over for 3 minutes.
that's, you're up to $40 now. So it's important for us to make sure that we're taking care of not only the people who are construction managers, but more importantly, the people who are doing the work every day in the trenches, and putting up the drywall, demoing, ceilings, flooring, painting, whatever it is. It's important that we turn around and require that payment to be turned around as quick as possible. There's no reason that this shouldn't take place. So that's part of this resolution. Now, it's part of the write-up, but there does need to be an amendment on the resolution for whatever reason that was taken out after we sent it over here, but I believe an amendment will be forthcoming on that for that portion. So I just wanted to footnote that right now. I also wanted to share from a perspective. Three perspectives. There's many more than that, but 3 perspectives. If you're a tax person and you're saying, hey, I don't want my taxes to raise, this project doesn't do this at all. There is no raising of property taxes, millage, or anything on this project. This isn't happening on this. So anybody who's raising that as this issue, it's not founded. The other issue is we take a look at it from a perspective of AAA. If you're concerned from a AAA, hey, are we investing too much? We're not investing enough. The previous administration put off the capital improvement projects to this campus years and years and years. The Coulter administration said, no, we're not gonna do that. It's important to fix these buildings. We've got bonding capacity that our CFO, Brian Loeffler, will talk to you about, 10.7 billion, 10.6 billion. We're only using a fraction of that. We're using less than 600 million.
600 million.
So this is not gonna impact our AAA rating. Matter of fact, if we don't start to do capital improvement and do these projects, it will impact us for putting these infrastructure costs off. We can't afford to do that anymore. This is the right thing to do, and this is the right investment to make. And the third thing is if you're an economic development person and you're saying, hey, I'm not sure that this is gonna have an impact. A development project of this magnitude, 174 million is what we're talking about in this resolution, will have a 4 to 6 to 1 impact multiplier in the community. That's a direct impact, that's an indirect and an induced impact. Not only for jobs, but other communities. We're seeing it already, and you heard from some of the leaders today. People are starting to come. We've got 2 residential projects. If your issue is housing, this is the right project for you. Whatever your issues are, this is the right project. This is what this is about. This is not just an investment for downtown Pontiac. This is an investment for our community. This is an investment for Oakland County. This is an investment for Southeast Michigan. We have 22% of the state's GDP, you've heard me say this many times, comes from Oakland County. We're not the largest county when it comes to population. That belongs to Wayne County. Well, we're at 22, they're at 18. We've got the right recipe going on and we need to continue to move forward. And so you also heard from somebody talk about if we were a state, we'd be ahead of 14 other states in regards to our GDP. It's about investing. In economic development, our job is to look around the corner. Not look in front of us, look around the corner. 5, 10, 15 years, anticipate what's gonna happen. Because if you're trying to make those adjustments on the fly, it's not soon enough. That's what this investment is about, making the right investment. You'll hear from our economists next week. Every year we have an annual economic outlook, and they compare us to counties of similar size, 1 to 1.6 million in residents. We have just shy of 1.3 million in residents. And what you'll see is they compare us to counties like Fairfax, Virginia, Montgomery, Maryland, Travis County, where Austin, a city that is experiencing a population growth boom. You'll see Fulton in Georgia, you'll see Nassau in New York, and you'll see Oakland County. Those are our peers. But if you look at those peers, they do not, none of those counties have right in the center of their county a swath of lack of economic development opportunity. There's a hub zone that's there from an economic perspective. We need to correct that. The leaders who said this earlier today, this is a good county, this is a solid county, this could be a great county, but only if we move forward with this investment. And we need to keep things moving. So I'll turn it over to our CFO.
All right, so I'm gonna piggyback on some of the main things that Sean talked about, taxes. So in terms of this investment, the point here is that when there are gonna be bonds issued, is that the debt service payment's gonna occur after our existing debt service falls off in 2027. So I call it, the term is dovetailing it. So the point is that we're gonna use the same millage authorization under our operating budget, that this is where the dollars would be coming from to pay for the debt service on this. AAA, it's one of my KPIs, don't lose it. And so one of the things I do worry about is making sure that we are, as a county, maintaining that. So Sean did talk about the whole thing about capital investment. So as for those who know that the drain commissioner comes to this committee prior to issuing bonds for any of the drain projects. And in there, that we sell bonds. And every time we sell bonds, I have to have a conversation with the rating agencies. How are you doing on your ACFR? How are we doing on your budgets? Those are great placeholders. But one of the questions that worries me is the lack of capital investment. Sean talked about our legal debt margin. By state law, we have the ability to issue up to $10.6 billion worth of debt. Right now, as in 2024, we have about $625 million worth of debt outstanding. Of that $625 million, about $500 million of that is just for drain WRC projects. The remaining $125 million is the county. $25 million for building authority, animal shelter. We also have building authority projects for buildings that we rent buildings out to local units of government that they piggybacked off our AAA rating to get lower debt service costs for those facilities. The remaining $100 million is for the bonds that are gonna pay off in 2027 for the pension or healthcare for the retirees. That's not capital investment. That's not bricks and mortar. And this is where the rating agencies say, oh, what's going on in Oakland County of your basic infrastructure? What are you doing on bricks and mortars? Because you've essentially depreciated it all. So that's a weak link in my head. Where are we gonna start investing? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if our cost of money is 4% because we're AAA tax exempt, and the annual escalation cost is 10%, what do you think? We fall behind year over year over year. And so when you have a $500 million project that you thought you were gonna pay this year, we don't have enough pay-go. We gotta stretch the useful life of that cost to match the useful life for the asset liability matching. So with that, I also wanna talk about the peers. When I go in front of the rating agencies, granted, we do have AAA counties in Michigan, But that's concentration in Michigan because of our economies. What do you think the rating agencies are looking at? They're looking at the other 9 communities or counties outside. So we are being compared automatically as our peer group. And all at once the metrics start to fold up. Where are you on this on an annual basis? And that's what I have to look at prior to going to the rating agencies and saying, oh, where are we falling short? And this is one of them, is the capital investment. The last thing on the economic development, I kind of agree with what Sean is saying, but this is essentially.
Only kind of.
I want you to agree with me. God, you made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, you just pushed me out my horse. But the point is that as being that stone in the pond, it does have a ripple effect. You know, we're in an economy right now is where we're being whipsawed by somebody who does not know where they want to go. And they're bullying each other. This is not what we are about. We want to have a measured pace of where we're going to go. And if we're going to do that, that's what it's saying is that we are going to be the engine. And what ends up happening is that others will follow you. If private development was so bullish on Pontiac, they wouldn't need us. But what they really are saying to us, they actually need us to say, we are gonna put 700 people down here. We are gonna continue to do this investment of everything, like let's eliminate a food desert. Let's make sure we have housing, make sure the housing is affordable. We need to have proper transportation. So one thing about this project is, to me is amazing, is all the parties that have worked together, everywhere from MDOT to the city, to the county, even to the community. So with that, that's a great, quite honestly, is a great way, is that when we have to do this bonding project for this, we bring the rating agencies to Pontiac. We show them what's gonna be done. And then that's when the write-ups that they're gonna write up is like, yeah, this is different. It's great to have a great fund balance, it's great to be AAA. But I'm gonna tell you right now is when you're on a pedestal, the first person they wanna knock off is you. So I'm not gonna have people nipping at our heels. I wanna make sure we are above all that. But the point is, we have to be that leader.
Thank you, thank you.
You're kind of welcome.
Megan?
So earlier I heard Commissioner Markham, you mentioned as far as the community engagement piece earlier in EDI. One of the roles that I have functioned in is helping to lead in those efforts, ensuring that we are hearing the voices of the community. You can look around this room today. How often do you see this? This is a legacy project, and this is a part of the legacy of you all's legacy as you vote yes today on this. The reality is that this is a project of hope. This is a project that's not just an investment of money, but money that's being invested to show people that they are valued in a city where they live and have been left out for so long. So for me, I'm very passionate about this project, and I was so thankful to have the opportunity to come and be a part of it, because not many people know, but I was born in Pontiac. I lived in Pontiac. My family was in Pontiac. I graduated from Pontiac Northern. So for me, this is just not, go Huskies.
Yeah.
Yes. For me, this is not a job. This is something that I'm passionate about, and this is transformational because this is going to impact generations to come. So when you stop and you just think about, how you make your decision today, know that when you're no longer around this table and the next generation is around this table, it was the decisions that you all made today to impact children that are coming behind us, leaders that are coming behind us. This is government. This is what government is supposed to look like. And I'm just honored that everyone would take time today and invest their time to show up and allow their actions to show what they value. So I'm just excited to be a part of this project, and I thank you all for considering it today. I thank County Executive Coulter and Sean, Ryan, everyone that's working on this, because at the end of the day, the only way true change comes is by us being changed, and this is change happening today. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Do you want me to introduce the amendment now, or do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll make the motion for the amendment and I'll.
Not support it.
And I'll speak to it.
Refresh your
So
computers.
Go pee. Can we take like 2 minutes?
You can step out and come back. We'll take a little break maybe, but we're behind already, and the sheriff's department would like to come before us too, so.
So I'll speak to the amendment. So This is an amendment, so we've talked about, this gets to the prompt payment issue. And in the general description, it explains that that was gonna be in it. But I think, and we've talked about it, and I think inadvertently it got removed from the original resolution, so we're putting it back in to be a very clear, be it further resolved clause that says that the construction manager, Granger, which we've already approved, shall pay contractors via ACH within 5 business days after receipt of funds from Oakland County. All invoices submitted by the construction manager will certify that they will pay within 5 business days and certify that they have met the time frame on past invoices. And albeit, yes, in the end, that's a contractual thing and it will be included in the contract. I think us adopting this amendment codifies, makes it very clear, and I think it's very important for it to be in the resolution.
Okay,
And I thought it was.
all right.
It is now. It will now.
All right,
You're moving that.
we're moving the amendment
The amendment,
first. Okay.
Yeah.
And any discussion on the amendment? Let's prompt the vote on the amendment.
Every day. This was too long.
I'm over it.
Why Michael is here to keep me honest in terms of how this is moving.
Everybody put yes on his screen.
6-0 nays.
Motion, the amendment motion carries, so we'll now go back to item 8A,
Madam Chair, what
the
was
main
the vote
motion.
on the amendment? What was the vote on the amendment?
6-0.
Okay, thank you.
So now we'll go back and we'll open it up on the main motion, and Charlie didn't vote, but it passed anyway.
I was just asking the amendment, what was the vote?
We're back to item 8A. Now, does anybody have any discussion from the commission?
Oh, I had just one.
Commissioner Powell?
What's those counties again? Can you name those counties that we are compared to, so I can go research them?
No, I'll give you the sheet, but it's
I know,
Fairfax
it's killing me.
County, Virginia, Montgomery, Maryland, Collin, Texas, Nassau, New York, Westchester, New York, Travis, Texas, Fulton, Georgia.
This will be in the
Economic outlook
book, so the book that
Oh,
that
good.
we're
Okay, great.
we'll be able to do that, so.
We voted on the amendment without you, Commissioner, but that's okay. Cool. Anybody else?
What was the amendment?
The amendment was adding, we added the
Pay.
language for prompt payment.
Oh, good.
It's referenced in the explanation, the
Yeah.
intent was to put it into the contract, it's an amendment that codifies it to, as part of this resolution.
Right.
But I'll speak just general to it.
Commissioner?
And I know we're running over in time, and I don't need to belabor the point. I've been on this board for 20 years. This is without question one of the most transformational projects I've had an opportunity to be part of. I am so proud. As someone who partied on the top of the Phoenix Center in my younger days. Might have snuck up there a couple times when you weren't supposed to. It is to be able to open it up and the spillover economic opportunity that this has. And I've said this before, many of you heard it, it's like it was going to take either a city, a county, a state, the federal government to be able to come in and make this type of public investment, to be that catalyst change. And we're stepping up to do that, and I couldn't be more proud. And the jobs it will create in the construction and of all of this, and the economic opportunity that's gonna come as a result of it. And we'll be able to measure it, it will be real, it will be tangible, and I can't wait. And so, Deputy Executive Sellers, like mentioned, those that come after us are on this table. What I can just tell you, it won't be on this table you'll come around. You'll be over there in downtown Pontiac. So, that's it.
That's right. Anybody else? Commissioner Cavell?
Yeah, this is tough because I love the idea. I guess there can be two things, right? So when I was hearing people talk, I'm trying to formulate what I'm saying. So we can do transformational investments into Pontiac, and we should. We can create good union jobs and have prompt payment and good wages and do the capital improvements we all need, and also have the transparency and accountability that is required of us in our jobs as finance committee members and members of the Board of Commissioners. It's our job is to protect and steward the taxpayers' money. And I don't see that here.
Yeah, it's in there.
No, and I've asked you for it several times.
be it
So
further
we have
resolved.
not had, I'm talking, we were supposed to hear about what you did with the first 50 million in this project that we got from the state. The 10 million in ARPA we gave you, what this 25 million will go towards in detail. This 174, what even is the bond duration or the bond rate that we're supposed to get? Using my back of the envelope math, this 174 will be a $400 million investment over a 20-year muni bond at AAA, which is fine. All this is fine. But this could have been a really awesome day, but you all didn't give us actual financial documents other than there's a $5 million range in cost of what we think solar panels will cost, and that you need $25 million cash right now to then do 175 later. So I'm a no on this. And if you want to talk more about this, I'm happy to, but I've reached out to you and your staff over the last 2 months about this with no response. So there's a lot of trust building you have to bring back to me, because it makes me sad because I love all these union guys. I see Eric at the Schwitz. Like, I'm a 4th generation UAW member. So like, it didn't have to go this way, but I just can't sleep at night thinking, what happens if you not giving us all these financial documents? Something was in there that we should have known about. And again, nothing untoward, but like, you're talking about 175, again, a 20-year muni bond, that actually is $401 million. But that's not a document in here, and we should have talked about that, and we should have talked about that more, but we didn't. So I'm a no, unfortunately.
Do you want me to respond?
Yeah, I'd like to
Sure, I'd be more than happy to.
Please.
Commissioner Cavell, I think there's been other times that we have talked about this at other committee meetings, so sorry you didn't get to have the opportunity to attend those. So with that, the reason the way the resolution is written is like, one of the things that we're talking about is I have to understand the project as defined by this board first, before we say, okay, what's the dollar amount and what kind of bonding and how we're gonna do this. So first of all, there was an item at ED&I that there's actually an amendment to the MEDC agreement. The MEDC did give us $50 million. They gave us $25 million. And as we stated before, is that the first 25 has been received by the county. That $25 million was used primarily for 2 purposes. One is to reimburse the county's general fund in about $20 million to purchase the property. The next $5 million is being used for the Adamo contract to demo the Phoenix Center, which that contract was approved by this finance committee. In ED&I, it was us in finance, fiscal services under the executive. We're reading the agreement and we asked the MEDC to amend the agreement to receive the second half of $25 million. To reduce our cost, we asked for quarterly reimbursements of the $25 million for dollars that we're going to be spending on this project, rather than waiting until we spend $25 million and have an opportunity cost of interest income either through bonding or taking dollars out of our general fund or the strategic initiative plan, that those dollars come out and then are used to pay for the project, and then we seek reimbursement from the state at the end of that period of time. I don't know when that's going to be because we're working on the draw schedule. So that's what the $50 million is gonna go for. Also, the 10 million ARPA is actually for that. To get to this point, we've actually had to be working with HED, Fardman, and also Granger to get to this point to come up with the $174 million project. That $174 million is our best guess of what the gross cost of this 31 Justin project is going to be, including the addition for the conference center, the solar panels, the site development, essentially from Judson to Orchard Lake to Woodward and to the new Saginaw. That's what the plot of land is. That's what you're going to be focusing on. Now, that's a not to exceed. In that number is going to be approximately dollars for the projects. We've had to include tariffs. We've been whipsawed. I've been asking Granger. We don't know. 2 months ago, it was almost $7 million. Today, it could be $3 million. We just don't know. So what this resolution is also asking for is that we have to define under the Internal Revenue Code, if we are gonna do bonding and seek reimbursement on a tax exempt basis, we have to put this clause into this resolution so we can look back 60 days and say, boy, we don't wanna take that money out of our general fund, we wanna actually put it as a capital investment into this bond issue. This is just giving you, this board, an option to do certain things. I'm not gonna say we're gonna spend 174, that's the budget I was provided. as we go along, one of the things you're gonna be back again is a bond resolution that says, hey, not to exceed $174,525,000. How are you gonna finance it? Well, let me tell you right now, I've said this before, I wanna do a construction draw schedule. I don't want to borrow, have the county borrow 175 million, sit it in the bank, and then have this drawdown, because you pay interest on all of it. For those who have built a house, for those who do construction, the concept here is they do a construction loan. You draw the money down and you pay only interest on what you draw. How do we know there's not gonna be a just-in-time for delivery of products? I wanna have just-in-time financing. Now, in terms of this, as you mentioned before, that the retirement bonds or the healthcare bonds do get paid off in 2027, I'm dovetailing this right after that. But one of the things is you do have a debt policy that's gonna say 20 years. I've already said this to most of the people on the finance committee. I'm gonna be seeking a change to that debt policy for 20 years. This building's gonna last 50 years. Why are we compressing the amortization of that debt in 20 years, and it shuts out dollars to pay our employees better wages, better healthcare, the bigger picture? So I'll be back asking for up to 30 years or match the useful life of the building. So from my perspective, there's more to come on this, but what's the first domino, at least on the finance side, Commissioner, is I need to know what the project scope is, and that's what we're asking for today. So one of the things we did do is put in here your monthly request. Because I think I'm all about transparency, but there also, the transparency that we've had right now, as you probably saw in the ACFR that was delivered to all the commissioners last month, you got an increase in your fund balance by about $20 million, is because we took the MEDC money from over here and put it back in the general fund. So the transparency begins, Commissioner, but I need to know exactly what we are gonna be saying, what that project is. So I hope you vote yes, and that you feel that you can work with us on this, because I'm ready to work on this. But I'm gonna tell you right now, right here, I now have to follow the monthly transparency report.
Do you want me to respond, or do you wanna just do the vote?
I have something to say.
Let's let Commissioner Powell go. I
just wanna say, today, I wanna go against your comment you just made, cause today is gonna be a good day, and it is a good day. With your vote or without your vote. And I'm just happy that God has given us the opportunity to vote majority, and it ain't leaning on one person, cause if so, we already know Cavell would chop this and we wouldn't be moving forward. So at this point, today is a good day for the city of Pontiac, for the county, and for this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anybody else? Okay, deep breath. If there's no other comments, let's go ahead and prompt the vote on the main motion, item 8A. As amended, yes, thank you. I could not chair this committee without all my helpers, I'm telling you.
You have 5 yeas, 2 nays.
Okay, 5 yeas, 2 nays.
Can I understand who the two nays are, just for our report?
Long and Cavell.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Motion carries. Good work. Good to see all you folks here today. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am, we're gonna remember you. You passed our boards. You're gonna be elected for a long time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support. Appreciate you.
I'm worried about we're leaving empty buildings. This is Pontiac. We're gonna leave all the support.
Thank you.
My point is, we're gonna leave just as Pontiac. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. So we're already investing. I know, you know what I'm saying? Over there, this is Pontiac where we're sitting right now. At Bay City, Pontiac taxes over there, but I'm worried about bricks and mortar. We're leaving all empty buildings, we're leaving all empty buildings here, and we're making hybrid houses, we're, yeah, we're.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that my brain?
That's my philosophy, so.
I didn't bring up yet.
We do, and all of us do.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's logical, that's fine, that's.
You just want to revitalize the money. I saw.
It's
Yeah.
for employees that don't live in Pontiac.
anytime.
appreciate it.
Giving construction workers that don't live in Pontiac money.
I bet.
And then taking buildings off the tax roll in Pontiac.
Certainly
And
stay
then
in
it'll
touch.
make some restaurants downtown. Hey, so work in downtown Detroit.
I know,
So work in downtown
this might not be
Detroit.
downtown, but this is Pontiac, we are in Pontiac, it's a
I'm saying,
hub.
if we wanna spend $400 million to revitalize Pontiac, give everyone a free ride to college. Like, make the Oakland, Michigan Works fucking awesome. There's 1,000 things we can do.
Got another meeting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
One more meeting today.
Oh, you have another one after this?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
see, I'm getting sent
Everybody
to our
ready?
meetings and it's-
Yeah, okay. Our next
leave.
item is item 9.
I'm late for a meeting.
Item 9. I'll move it, whatever it is.
9A, moved by Commissioner Smith Charles, supported by Commissioner Bell. Okay, item 9A is an amendment number 5 to the interlocal agreement between Oakland Community Health Network and Oakland County Health Division for substance use disorder prevention services. Good morning, good afternoon.
Wait, so they're on, are they on?
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
No, you're good.
I think I may have jumped the gun, guys, I apologize.
I know, it's weird.
So sorry.
No, it's our fault, not yours. You're
Got
good.
it, okay. Oh, y'all next.
Oh, yeah, okay. You can sit
I'll
there.
move it.
It's been moved, yeah, it's moved, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, I see, he's for the next
She's
one,
muted.
next two. Oh, we
I
can't
think you're
hear.
muted.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm still here. Today, we're requesting your approval to accept our Fifth Amendment of our funding that comes for substance use disorder treatment and prevention services through OCHN. And so this is our 37th year with this funding, and it is in the amount of $266,145. And the funding continues staffing by 2 full-time health educators who implement tobacco and vaping prevention programs, and the clinical screening for substance use and referrals to treatment, as well as a pre-K through 12th grade health skills curriculum. The point that I think you are aware of is that a small portion of this funding, $26,154, comes from ARPA. And on April 1st, we were notified by OCHN of the discontinuation of this small piece of this funding. So we are expecting an amendment, another amendment. So an amendment 6 will be coming soon. And we've worked up a budget to decrease spending in several categories: advertising, interpreting, printing, training and materials and supplies, to account for this small gap in the funding when we lose the ARPA funding.
Good. Okay, I'll open it up to the commission. Anybody have any questions for Katie? Seeing none, let's go ahead and prompt the vote.
Thank you.
Now he's already in his spot, it's nice and warm.
7 years,
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Next item is 9B, grant acceptance from the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards for the FY 2025 Law Enforcement Distribution Program. Moved by Commissioner Smith Charles, supported by Commissioner Long.
Good morning. So this is our annual grant acceptance from Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards, or MCOLS. We get 2 distributions a year. This one, the first one is for $107,203.75, and it's used for training.
Okay, any comments or questions from the commission? Seeing none, let's prompt the vote. There's 7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Okay, next we have item 9C, the request for a fleet expansion. I need a motion. Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. So we're requesting to expand our fleet by 8 vehicles. 6 of those vehicles will be paid for with secondary road patrol funding through the state of Michigan. Typically, grants don't allow for that, and that funding, if you recall, over the years has fluctuated, so we would come back to you each year and add positions, delete positions. Now that funding is they made some legislative changes and the funding is steady, so we have full-time positions in there, and then they gave us a supplemental agreement or a supplemental amount this year, so we wanna add, we're actually gonna buy vehicles that are dedicated to that and will be charged to the grant. The other two vehicles will be for Parks and Recreation. So this year, with the new law enforcement agreement positions, we added a new position titled Deputy Dedicated Vehicle, and Parks has two of those deputies. Typically, they received, with the way the Parks arrangement used to be, they used to use vehicles out of our loaner pool. So this will actually provide dedicated vehicles to those two positions.
Commissioner Woodward, followed by Commissioner Cavell.
For the two dedicated vehicles at Oakland County Parks, is the millage paying for those vehicles? If they're dedicated to that, or is it coming out of a different pool?
That's, it's an interfund transfer, so I'm not quite sure, it just goes from Parks, Fiscal Services handles that, so it goes from the Sheriff's Office to Parks to pay for that, so I'm assuming that those dollars will probably help that, but.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Commissioner Cavell.
Yeah, I hope you remember this moment, just cause it's gonna be wild.
Thanks for moving us up on the agenda, that's all I'm gonna say.
This
You're welcome.
is a good budget. It's down to the dollar, it's specific, it's got multiple different components to it, so it all adds up. This is a budget. Thank you. Very good budgeting.
Well, I'm gonna shout out to Fiscal Services for the budget amendment, cause there was a lot of back and forth between my team and Fiscal Services to get this budget amendment correct, because we're dealing with grant funding, we're dealing with general fund, we're dealing with proprietary funds, and so there were a lot of components to it, so.
Well,
And the motor
you
pool
all
as
made
well.
it look legit, and I understand these numbers and trust them. Thank you for presenting them.
Thank you for saying that.
Anybody else? Okay, let's prompt the vote.
Keep that in the record book.
I don't know if you guys heard my collective gasp.
We'll get you a transcript so you
Yeah,
can
we
get up.
need to make sure you keep that one.
Marty, I thought you were gonna say they could walk.
Then we have a new
Wow.
under sheriff and,
Can I get a close of that?
I was thinking the parks, the parks ones could walk.
softy is what we call
That's right, I'm getting soft, there you go.
all right, 7,
Thank you guys very much.
0, motion carries. That's great. Okay, we've been in here a long time. Everybody wanna take a 5-minute break? Sure. Let's do that. Let's take 5 minutes, and when we come back, we'll be doing the presentations, followed by everybody else.
Commissioners Cavell and Smith Charles, could I see you out?
county presentation next week.
A couple of our members had to step out for the audit committee, but we still have a quorum, so I think we're okay. Okay, next on our list is item 10, presentations. The first one is 10A, update on the circuit court case management project.
Oh, you waited a long time, sorry, thank you. Thank you for waiting so long. Oh.
Moved by Commissioner Long, supported by Commissioner Taylor.
Receive and file, right?
These are receive and files,
Yeah, okay, all right, I make that motion, yep.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We will be super brief. Mike told me we have a minute and a half.
Oh.
Chris
know about
Bujak, Court
that.
Business Manager.
Rod Davenport, CIO. Sean Carlson, you heard a lot from me already.
You can take all the time you want.
We just wanted to let you know, you had asked for us to update you on how the Circuit Court Case Management Project is going. As we speak or sit here today, we actually have staff in Lansing working with JIS on this project. We have given you a memo that kind of outlines some of the funding that has occurred, the expenditures that IT has had. We are still working actively with HR to fill the positions that you granted us. And the good news is we have received an additional $100,000 from the State Court Administrative Office to put towards these first expenses. So towards those employee expenses for the court, the first $100,000 will be on the State Court Administrative Office.
Oh, good.
So that's the good update. Does anybody have questions about any of this?
So that's a grant, right?
It's not a
Oh, it's not.
grant, it's really just a reimbursement from the
Okay,
state.
great.
I have a form, so there's no grant that we have to apply
Perfect.
for or accept. They're treating it much like we have when we had our set asides.
Yeah.
They paid for part of the expenses for the set aside
Good,
project.
good.
Good, that's good news.
Any questions at all?
Thank you.
Then we have made our minute and a half.
Yeah, you did. Might have been less than that, yeah. Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Receive and file, yeah, receive and file.
So to receive and file.
Yep.
Prompt the vote.
Oh, yeah, she's got
You
receive
did.
and file, yeah, good. And the next thing, it's a receiving file too, right?
Okay, and then item 10B is something we have requested come to us regularly, and that is an overview of the federal grant funding.
I'll move it. Oh, receive and file,
Yep,
yeah.
moved by Commissioner Long, supported by Commissioner Powell.
Now we say, good afternoon, I saw you first in the morning.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners.
Walked in together.
Thank you for taking time to allow me to talk with you. Really, my focus today is kind of to recap what we submitted last meeting and kind of get you to refresh ourselves with what's happening with these federal grants. So you heard earlier today, we have the SUD and the SUD ARPA grant and the loss of the SUD ARPA portion of funding. We are working with the health department to make sure we can figure out how we're gonna handle that potential loss of funding because it could impact half of a position. From my conversations with health, they're looking at how they can rearrange their budgets to make sure that those two people are fully costed for. The good news is that the grant total will support the two positions. They just have to move some money around to make sure those positions are fine. So you can expect a subsequent amendment on the SUD item or SUD item for them to make sure that gets cleaned up. I will point to this rather large spreadsheet. I will say that this has been a labor of love by us over in fiscal to try to make sure we get this in a format that is accurate and that will give you a good visualization of what is occurring with these grants. So to keep everybody up to speed as to what this is saying, if you go to the very bottom of this very large spreadsheet on the far left corner, you will see federal agencies and you will see $258 million. What that is telling you is that for all of our awards, this includes annual awards, this includes something like FOC, which is a multi-year award. This includes things like the grants over at the airport. That entire total is $258 million. Now, some of this is gonna be things that are more statutory, some of these are gonna be discretionary funds. We've really just kind of given this to you as an overview of what dollars are federally assigned dollars, what dollars are, are we getting through the state? And then what is the total that we, Oakland County, are actually providing, whether it be as a local match or a cost share. So that is the kind of overview in that regard. With that being said, I will open it up for questions on any particular item.
You asked for, didn't you want to know the difference, the federal, the state?
Commissioner Powell.
Is there anything that needs to be zoned in or highlighted on the executive summary of budget federal grants form of anything that's been impacted, or we just been at kind of flatline same since your last presentation you came to us? Has anything changed?
There has not been anything that I'm ready to present to this committee. There are some inklings, things that we're looking at, but I don't want to bring something that, I'll give you a perfect example. We have an additional requirement for payment justification. Now, talking with my grant supervisor and talking with the team, they're saying this could be par for the course, but it is going to change significantly their workload. So instead of being able to go and say, I have one item for reimbursement, they now have to do written justification for every single line item. Meaning what could have taken 5 minutes for someone to do could take up to maybe an hour. Now, we're trying to figure out and put some numbers to that to figure out what the actual, how do we stay in compliance with this? But this is something that we just received. I was joking every time I want to send an email, hey, I don't have an update. Something lands on my desk of some new change that has happened that I have to look into. So that is something that we're currently looking into. I'm not ready to really comment one way or another on that. But just so you're aware, that is something that we are aware of.
So thank you, I appreciate that.
And something also to keep in mind, I've heard this from multiple different departments.
Right.
There is some boilerplate that they're seeing change on applications. So we're flat out just seeing some applications no longer being available. They were on the website, they were going to apply, and then suddenly now they're missing. So the opportunities are disappearing, and when they show back up, they're finding that the what I would consider boilerplate text for some of these things that we do. Exactly. And specifically, they're adding in carve-out language talking about DEI initiatives and ICE. So those are two areas that we're really focusing in on to see what are they changing on these grant applications, who's the responsible party. So when, this is just an example, you have, say, the sheriff's office go for a grant versus us in the executive department go for the grant. Okay. Is that contract with us, Oakland County as a whole, or because the sheriff's office is a separate entity, how do we handle that?
Yeah.
So that is something that we're looking into, and this is something I've heard from multiple departments, multiple offices that they're seeing. Again, we're looking into that.
Okay, thank you.
Good, yeah, thanks. Commissioner Taylor.
Yes, thank you very much. This started partially because of my request, and I really want to thank you for all the hard work. This is exactly what I was looking for us to get out in front of it. I don't want you to feel pressured or anything like that, because I do understand that it's a time-sensitive thing, and it's fluid. It changes every week. But whatever information you can help us, like you said, with the positions, people's lives are at stake. They don't know if they're gonna get a check next month or whatever. If we have to affect someone's employment, that's what we wanna do. We wanna jump out in front of that and maybe soften that where we don't have to lay them off or they don't lose their jobs. If there's a way for this county to do that, we're saying we wanna be proactive and not reactive in these situations. So I can't applaud you enough on how hard, and I know how hard you're working on this. But I truly do appreciate it, because it's not only for me, but it's for this entire board.
They're very helpful.
These are the decisions that we have to make, and we're coming into budgets. So we're gonna need to know how to think and which way to go and how to plan, and where the if there's a fall or a shortfall, where we're gonna think about moving the money from. So I appreciate it, and I just wanna make sure I tell you that. And not only you, but all of our, Mike and everybody, they just work together really, really hard, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate those very kind remarks, and I would be at a loss without my team behind me helping me get all this stuff together. So shout out to all of those folks in fiscal services that help me do what I need to do to help you folks. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Commissioner Powell?
Oh, no, I'm okay.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
She's getting ready to vote.
All right.
She's good for. I was ready to vote.
Yeah, she was getting, looking for her button, right?
Everybody's hanging in, that's good.
Thank you, thank you.
Motion carries, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have the item 11, department recommendations. 11A is 2025 second quarter information technology development report. Moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Powell. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, this is the quarterly budget transfer that we request each quarter to move the funds for the Q2 actuals from the single non-departmental budget to the general fund departments whom the work was performed for, based on the actual hours and dollars that were spent, in order to fund the IT development costs that was expended.
Okay, so it's one development of challenges.
This is, you do this every quarter
We
for
do,
us, right?
yes.
And the propriety.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
Looking to
I
make
know you
sure.
were poring over this report at 11 o'clock last night. So.
Yeah. No, I looked it over. I think I didn't have anything.
Okay. Well, if nobody has any comments or questions, let's prompt the
I mean,
vote.
it's line item out too, so, for us.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. It's all that, like it's like an invoice attached, so it's good.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is
I mean,
the
he wants to transfer it to
2025 tax rate request.
Oh, Lord.
Millage rates, moved by Commissioner Powell, supported by Commissioner Taylor. Mr. Leffler likes this so much.
I'm getting my steps in today. And so will my counselor after this meeting. So, I'm available to answer any questions regarding the L4029. It's the time to have as you can probably see on the form, is that there is a slight Headley rollback for our millage rate. In the upper right-hand side, the 2025 taxable value is about 84.3 billion. Compared to the last year, it's about a little over 5.3% increase, which is essentially part of the reason why in the math that we have to roll back our millage rates.
Okay.
So that's
This
what
is the Hadley, this
Yep.
is because of Hadley, all
Yep,
this.
this
Okay.
is exactly, and so by doing it now, then it can get to the taxing jurisdictions, but the thing is that you'll notice here is there's a column here, what's gonna be levied July 1 versus what's gonna be levied December 1, so the county millage is 3.9301 is July 1, so you have to get this form to the board
Yes.
to be signed on a timely basis, so local units of governments can print their tax bills.
Okay.
Everybody clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Prompt the vote.
Thank you.
You like those ones. Compared to,
48-0 nays.
Motion carries. Okay. Next up, we have item 12, economic development and infrastructure recommendation appropriation for resource matcher program with Oakland University.
until we're doing 114, I'm moving.
Moved by Commissioner Long, supported by Commissioner Taylor.
I think we need Angie.
Do we have slides?
Yes.
Yeah,
Give me a
Angie needs to
second.
come back
Yeah,
too.
Angie needs to
Angela
come
needs
back
to
because
come
we're
back,
voting
so we
on
have a
stuff.
quorum.
Okay.
Oh, just in case you guys, I mean, I think we're already done stuff. Come on, Angie.
We're almost done.
I know, but you know what I'm saying, like for a quorum, because it's a voting thing.
Right.
We don't need any,
Here
the
she
whole
comes.
meeting might be null and void.
I'm in, I'm in.
Right, we need you, because I don't want the whole meeting to be null and void.
No,
We'll have to do it again, and I'll be at your doorstep, Angela.
My bad, y'all.
All right. Let's keep our quorum.
So thank you again for your time, commissioners. I am here today to talk to you about Resource Link, which is a tool that the Economic Development Department is wanting to create to help our teams more effectively communicate the value of resources to businesses, communities, and residents that we engage with. The main point of this tool is that it creates an inventory of all available small business resources and support programs. And so the gist of this is that we have individuals in our team, whether they be in transit, veteran services, business development, planning, or other areas of our department, workforce development, who are tasked with delivering hundreds, if not thousands, of different programs. Some that are relative and work in certain geographic areas, some that work with certain sizes of communities or businesses. And the goal of this tool is to help us inventory all of those available resources and be able to, at a fingertip, very quickly be able to assess whether they are appropriate for those they are meeting with. This will rapidly connect Oakland County's stakeholders, not just small businesses, to critical growth resources. It'll also help to boost local economic development and community impact. The tool leverages AI, but I do want to make a note of the fact that the tool only inventories publicly available resources and information, so no PII or other personal information is planned to be inventoried in the tool. It's also important to realize that this is going to be an internal resource. This is not going to be something that is public facing. We do not want to make our teams superfluous. We want to make sure that they are the conduit for all available resources that come through us and are part of the county. This will include things like state, federal, local grants. It'll include things like tax abatements, tax incentives, workforce development programs, things like SIMCOG grants, MEDC grants, and the like. So to move on to the funding and timeline here, we have been working with Oakland University on a proposal to do this work for us. We will be leveraging their department head over computer science and engineering to help us with this work, as well as 2 PhD students at the university. This is expected to take about 9 months' time to finish. Their proposal to us was for just under $100,000. We've also included about $15,000 of cost to help our IT group help us with hosting the solution and ongoing maintenance for the tool. I think it's all been covered there. Do you have any questions for me?
We heard this before. Commissioner Powell.
I'm happy you went to go get OU students. That's my alumni. So great. Thank you.
Very important to use that local talent, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I read a statistic a couple of nights ago that said Oakland University has more of their graduates stay in Michigan as a percentage than any other public university in Michigan.
Well, look at me.
It's amazing. If it works out, maybe Rod will take some over to AT, so.
I was ready.
Good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
This is not necessarily, I'm in support of this 100%, but it made me think, do we or are we looking at something like this for maybe all of Oakland County's events, like kind of like listserv, where we can list everything so that people might not overbook, or if, for lack of another word, have too many activities at the same time, so the commissioners could come to more events and things like that? Is that something that you might want to think about and take back to OU?
You mean thinking about the fact, so making sure that communities aren't planning overlapping events? And that there's alignment?
Yeah.
Would it be communities or just Oakland County Department?
I would start with Oakland County, but they would say Oakland County, like if Pontiac was having an event, they could look and see what Oakland County, make sure our availability is there for their event. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if we have something on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, they wouldn't have an event.
So conflicting with municipalities?
Yes.
Just focused on municipalities though?
Yeah, and the board, so that our calendar would,
I
you know what I'm
we have to
saying?
miss a lot.
Because we miss a lot of things because everything is overbooked. And I'm just saying maybe give OU something to think about.
That could certainly be something that we address, the potential to include events. We hadn't talked about that.
I don't think we have anything like that at all.
No, I know, we miss a lot of things.
Yeah.
Our departments, like if we did an internal thing, departments.
I would stay, I'd be happy if we just do it.
That would be good.
We be wanting to go to stuff that they invite us to, but we can't go because they'll mess
Because we're
around
here.
and schedule it on our
Standing
committee
committee.
day
Right.
or something like
There's
that.
something that's scheduled the same day as our board meeting
Yeah.
this month.
Yeah. Just a thought.
We could explore that, absolutely. Absolutely, we can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
Well, I just pointed that out to Pontiac, you see how we had to
talking about it
double,
walking
but
in
that was
here.
cause we added Sean, though, remember?
Mhm.
Probably wouldn't have been a conflict, well, no, it was already a conflict, I just didn't bring it up to the Pontiac Project folks over on executive side. They know now, though.
Okay, so any other comments on the resource matcher program?
Good.
You're gonna give it a better name, right?
The new name is Resource Link.
Oh,
Okay.
So that's
good.
That's better than Matcher.
Oh, there we go.
So we changed the name, we got feedback from
Yeah.
Michael Andrews and others that the name was awful, so.
Well, it
Back to the drawing board.
doesn't say what it is, Matcher, you know?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
All right, let's prompt the votes.
Make sure you tell them alumni Angie supported it.
I will.
All right, motion carries.
Thank you,
We're good.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
My son Phil's lawyer writing.
All right. Next, we have the department recommendations. Commissioner Powell.
Chair, I was gonna ask if you could vote the 13A through I if we don't have any issues with any of them, which we usually don't. And if so, can we just vote all of them, approve them all at one time? I know some of our folks is online maybe, and we thank them, but we know how this rodeo go. We've been here all day, and I just wanted to see if you would consider that, Chair.
Yes, I think that's a good
Good, 'cause
idea, if it's okay with our staff.
I had
that
Phil's
we do
lawyer
that.
writing. He had to leave to SEMCOG, so
Oh,
I was
yeah.
presenting Phil, so that's
Yeah,
fine with me.
We certainly do have, I believe, 2 speakers in person. Maybe we could just ask them to introduce themselves once we
Right,
do get
sure.
a motion,
Oh,
but I
I'm
believe
sorry.
everyone
Oh, I'm
online
sorry. Yeah,
has
y'all didn't have
been
to sit here all day, so we at least entertain them, but yeah, I think we
But
can.
in the long run, they're here to get, to
But
make
yes, you
sure
could
they,
take a motion.
in the long run, they want their support is why
I mean,
they're
we
here.
can just say thank you and speed
Right.
it up.
Oh, good, great.
I mean, cause I looked at them all too, I agree.
Commissioner
I
Lane
mean,
Taylor.
We don't never really.
I don't know, I was supporting or making the motion.
yeah,
whichever.
make a motion and then, well, Angie
So
made a
Commissioner
motion.
Powell
I
made
make
the
a motion that
Yes,
we,
and if they wanna talk, but
Consider all.
consider
Right,
all
excellent.
13A through I of sponsorship projects, which are from all different districts.
it is.
And we usually, support these, so if that's a go, that's my motion.
Okay. And seconded by Commissioner Taylor.
Good.
Okay.
And I do wanna shout out, the write-ups were excellent this time.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We're getting, and I did have totals and how much of the budget, if you guys had questions, that's always my question, how much does the project cost, what are we given, so I have all that here for my ones I was presenting, so.
It's good. I'll
You
just
can learn
say,
from them.
I like the sponsorship, these special projects because it's a way that each individual commissioner can really touch their district and their local
Right.
communities and help with some things
Right.
where they're looking for a little extra to make this event go or this. And it spreads the word all through the county that Oakland County is part of sponsorship of all of these. I really like these projects. I know we've had a lot of discussion on the board about
Right.
whether we should be doing them, but
Right.
I personally, as long as I'm finance chair, I'm still gonna keep talking about how great they are, so.
And I do wanna point out that all these sponsorships we do, when you think about it, and when you attend them, it really brings communities together. And, a lot of them in the summer, it's like, when you can see 600 people and some of them dancing at these concerts, it's like, it's really nice, to see like everyone there, and it's nice, and that they're provided free, most of the, they're provided free from their municipalities, from sponsorships, and we give some money, and they're really good things to see your community all together in a spot having fun, so I think they're good things.
Agreed. Okay, so we can prompt the vote?
And just
real quick, which one
Yes,
was
yes.
you tied
Junior
to?
Village Music Festival.
Okay, good. See, there's my music. I said dancing.
Thank you so much.
I might even dance this year at mine. We'll see.
So just to let you know process, we voted here, it gotta go to board next week.
It's next
So,
Thursday, I think. Yeah, next
and
Thursday.
It's gonna probably shepherd through fine.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta follow up on receiving the funds, what that look like with our wonderful Mike
Yes.
Keys, who you all
Andrew
been
and
talking
myself
with
will follow up
anyway.
with you actually right after.
Right.
Okay,
So since it went through here, it should all be on consent agenda.
Yeah.
Unless someone pulls it off, so that will be, cause it was, all of us voted yes. So it should just be on the consent agenda, which you can look on the website to make sure it is, and then there won't be
Yeah.
it shouldn't be an issue.
Shouldn't be an issue.
Shouldn't be an issue, and then follow up right after that next Thursday.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
And if you have a question, please reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'm your neighbor.
Okay. September 13th, please come on out.
Yeah, Lenny Taylor.
Lenny Taylor.
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay.
Kelly knows me.
September 13th, Kelly knows you.
Mhm.
Kelly's a good friend. Yeah.
And gentlemen, you're with her.
Oh, so you have plenty of time for your fund, they're September, say mine are in June, so they're good.
Yeah, he's the director of the
Me too.
DDA of Laker
Me
Village.
too.
And I produce the festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was the one who founded the festival and it's.
As a resident.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being part of it.
No, it means a lot to
It
communities.
means so much to us to have Oakland County backing us. And especially now when businesses are having a harder time letting go of some of their money. You really are stepping into that gap and we appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Cause it's completely
point.
free,
And
parking and
you.
everything.
You all came
And
to
most
a
of the
more
events are great.
entertaining finance meeting, so
Oh
thank
my
you for
gosh.
sitting through it.
Yes.
Ah, it was really fascinating.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for
Alright.
coming.
Thank you.
All right, next up is our last public comment. Does anybody from the public
We
care
lost them all.
to speak to us
We
today?
lost them all.
Seeing nobody, and if there's no other business, I will call this meeting adjourned.
Good. Okay, Lon.